What fictional character do you see a lot of yourself in? Shrek. We are both gods and handsome and ogres. Probably Angela from The Office. Jazz is stupid, just play the right notes. Yes, I'd like to see myself in her. Linda Belcher. I just want to play and take care of people. I'm exactly 50 Tina and Jean. You like butts and you like the farts they make. I feel like most of us are Neville Longbottom, but with less courage. Neville Longbottom implies that I would grow up to be hot. So no. You can't afford veneers either, huh? Till what those are. The world is amazing. I agree. Although I definitely could be Ron Weasley. Excuse you, I'm about 99% Draco Malfoy. I aspire to be Neville Longbottom, but yeah, short on his courage. I actually used to really like him as a kid because I felt bad for him and wanted to give him a hug. Now I want someone to give me a hug. So true. I had a stuffed animal of him which I dragged everywhere as a kid. I even made him a little friendship bracelet. Man, I miss that. Ben Wyatt, minus the fantasy love. But I do love me a good calzone. Ice Town costs Ice Clown his town crown. Same, except my hair will never be as fabulous as his. What happens when the calzones betray you though? This was my answer too. I also have an irrational fear of cops. I'm so much like Ben that I just post gifs of him on social media and my friends are like, yep, that's you. Except the accounting part. Hate accounting. Highway I to the calzone zone. My mom was watching House and was surprised I hadn't seen it. So, she told me I should watch it and said, you'll love it. The main guy's mean and heartless and witty and funny and smart. He's just like you. I identify with Dr. Gregory House so hard. I hadn't seen it either up until recently. My ex told me I remind him of Dr. House, like, sure, whatever. Then I watched a little bit of it and was like, oh. Bobby Hill. I kind of looked like him too. Violet from The Incredibles. My entire family agrees with this one, and it makes watching any Incredibles movie very awkward for me. Sounds like something Violet would do. Violet is awesome, and I'm sure you are too. Man, don't go on Rule 34. Consider this ample warning. Fair enough, but Violet is pretty much just a shy teenage girl. There's plenty of them, you're not alone. Amy Santiago, I even cross stitch. And do the hair tuck. And I can't stand Jenna. I came here to say Jake Paul to myself. I hope you develop a childish rivalry that is sure to evolve into a childish marriage. I'm telling you this because I'm an Amy too. I found some body wash that smells like leather and oak on Amazon. It's classified as being for men, but I use it all the time because it smells like a library. I'm glad someone else doesn't care for Jenna. I get that not all humor can be kind and good-hearted, but at some point, being mean for the sake of glorifying yourself isn't fun to watch. It's just cruel. But I will admit it's a little personal. I'm also an Amy, and I've been bullied by Janice. Peter Parker. Glasses-wearing nerds who feel left out and constantly have the world throw its worst at you. And mind you, I said Peter Parker and not Spider-Man. I got it extra sucky because I didn't get superpowers. I would also like the guidance support of Uncle Ben and Aunt May. My equivalent deceased shot, but loving and involved when alive. Father Uncle Ben and living loving, if a bit stubborn, Mother Aunt May. That's what Tom Holland's Peter Parker is missing in my opinion. Tobey's Peter Parker was the best representation of that underdog nerd. I really like Tom Holland's acting as Spider-Man, but I feel like the scripts aren't giving him enough development through the Peter scenes. In Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2, 35 minutes go by between Peter throwing his suit in the trash can and him stealing his suit back from the Daily Bugle. That's the kind of stuff I wish the MCU would do with the character. George Costanza. I'm also a pudgy bespectacled misanthrope from the New York City area whose parents drive him nuts. My George isn't clever enough to hatch a scheme like this. When George is calling them about getting married, and his mom is talking to Susan, may I ask why, when she says she's marrying him? And who constantly dates women far out of his league? If he consistently gets dates, are they truly out of his league? Hey Mitch, Hunger Games. Nuff said. Alcoholism ruined my uncle's life and eventually killed him. Get help. Soccer, but only when he's sick. Who is that on guy you're talking about, Your Highness? You guys are giving me too much nostalgia. Soccer for me too, but soccer on cactus juice, it'll quench ya. According to my wife, I'm a bit of a mix between Bob Belcher and Bruce Banner. Don't exactly know what that means, but I'll take it. Archer in most of the bad ways. Thailand thanks you for your tourism. I had to go way too far down to find my brethren. You wanna be Archer, but you're probably more like Cyril. Chandler Bing. Ever see the one with all the resolutions? I think that might have been the name. Chandler tries to stop snarking and taking shots at his friends. Spoiler, oh, he can't do it, and almost goes nuts trying. That's what would happen to me if I ever tried. Thankfully my friends know this about me and make sure I don't try. Could you be any more like Chandler? What was that? You know, just some extra air in my mouth. My girlfriend said I reminded her of Chandler a lot because I try to defuse awkward situations with bad jokes and have commitment issues. I'm not great at advice. Can I interest you in a sarcastic comment? A wise man once said people who say they are a Chandler are definitely a Ross. Zuko from Avatar. Broken home and a bad childhood spent trying to earn approval from toxic relationships except replace Azula with bad friends and romantic partners. I relate to Zuko as well. My dad was abusive, and I have a warped idea of love. I've had toxic relationships before, and I'm constantly fighting the idea that no one wants me around or will ever love me. I'm trying to move forward, but it feels like no matter what I do people won't care, and I'm never going to be the hero. I wish I could tell you it gets better, but the truth is I don't know if it does. Right now I'm just pushing on in life and I wish you all the best as you try to move forward. Here's to all us Zukos, in hope that we all find our Uncle Iroh to help us through life. Marvel's character Thor. Well, in Endgame anyway. I've always hated Thor because I thought he was a boring character. In Endgame, he became the most relatable character. I genuinely related to Endgame Thor so much. It's scary how accurate he was. Not just physically, but mentally too. It was really refreshing to see that the answer to all his problems wasn't to get ripped off again, but rather to accept his failings and try to be his own man. I get why loads of people don't like his character, but he had one of the best arcs in Endgame. I leaned over in the theater and told my husband that he'd be that Thor in that Thor's circumstances. Kenny from The Walking Dead Telltale game. Yoshikage Kira. I just want a quiet life. Saitama from One Punch Man. Super bad depression and hedonia, but life must go on. But do you do 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 squats, and run 10 kilometers every day? If not, then you're not truly Saitama. Ronald we lie. I say this because we're both loyal to our friends, we both love food, and we are both sidekicks. But do you have the emotional range of a teaspoon? Sometimes in bad situations, where I'm nervous or scared, I tend to have a short temper. Mello from Death Note, because he was insecure, very angry, and had an inferiority complex. I know half of the fandom hates Mello, but I liked him, because I could really relate to some of his flaws. You just gave me a brand new perspective on Mello. Thank you. Star-Lord. Gotchi will always be my favorite movie of all time. He's just a funny guy, but not too over the top. Not too over the top. He literally tries to start a dance-off with a genocidal alien warlord. For better or worse, Scott Pilgrim. Scott Pilgrim, except fighting all the ex-boyfriends, but not getting the girl in the end. Or one in the beginning. And avoiding the one person who actually shows affection towards you. Veronica Sawyer from Heathers. No, I have not killed anyone even by accident but one. Veronica and I both have a very guilty conscience to her character shows a need for people to like her, which is something I've always done, even if what you're doing isn't that great. 3. However, now I've managed to care less about what other people think, also like her. Lately, Diane Nguyen from BoJack Horseman. Jack Skellington, but I feel like I'm in a commercial Christmas land and I want to live on the edge of fear. Probably the worst combination of Ted Mosby from How I Met Your Mother, Chandler Bing from Friends, and Nick Miller from New Girl. Fleabag from Fleabag. I have a horrible feeling I'm a greedy, perverted, selfish, apathetic, cynical, depraved, morally bankrupt woman who can't even call herself a feminist. That whole show is incredible. Chic means boring. Don't tell the French. April Ludgate. People started pointing it out to me, and then I saw it. Dark humor, monotone, intimidating but actually really kind-hearted, animal lover. Plus I get told I look like Aubrey Plaza. I'm totally cool with it. Jim Hawkins from Treasure Planet. I'm that weird robot guy who won't shut up and has no friends. The dude from The Big Lebowski. Cause I like to think I'm a laid-back kinda guy who has a passion for a good beverage in the quiet life. Also having a scraggy unkempt beard and a general slacker's attitude to life. Yeah, I can see a lot of myself in the dude. Luna Lovegood. People who see us at surface level see us as ditzy, dumb, crazy. But underneath that is a wisdom that belies the cookiness. Squidward TBH, the Krusty Krab basically symbolizes school for me. Deadpool. We have the same sense of humor and like to mess with people. Raj Kathrapali from The Big Bang Theory. Homer Simpson. Dear kids, adoring wife that I plot things with and often disappoint her, but because of her unconditional love she always forgives me because my heart was in the right place. I also get yellow if I drink too much for too many days. I have a weird liver. Kevin Arnold from The Wonder Years mixed with a little Ted Mosby. Kevin, I like to reminisce about the past, maybe too much. I had a long-time childhood crush I thought I was meant to be with. My best friend still to this day is tall and skinny like Paul. Ted nerd dork personality. Very unlucky in dating but a tried and true hopeless romantic who gets really lonely at times because of not finding a partner. Also I have a solid close group of lifelong friends that includes a couple that just got married after being together 10 years, Marshall and Lily. Show up, work hard, but mostly just show up.